Hi, guys. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. How dope is that? Download the free Anchor app and go to anchor.fm to get started. I have. Have you?
Hey, what's up, boys and girls, cats and squirrels? Your boy Third Eye Shooter, and I'm here with Miss K, and this is another episode of her lovely podcast, and another edition of this list of 56 questions, topics of contention for relationships. So, I stumbled upon this one, and I think this is also grammatically incorrect. The original question is, do love distract you from your goal? How they should have worded it is, does love distract you from your goals? I say yes and no. I say yes because I do think love in itself is addicting and a drug, and you can get enveloped in a person's essence and just their vibe and their being, and you'll forget and lose track of yourself in them. But the also reason why I say no is because I think if you find someone that you're in love with and loves you mutually, there will be, as we were just talking about off air, a mirroring of emotions and feelings. So there'll be the love, but there'll also be like, hey, we got to get shit done. So in this love, let's grow. That's why I think it's very good for people to date within their bracket. Not because it's bad to go above or below, but sometimes if I'm, I know you, this is a podcast, but I'm putting my hand in the air. My right hand is high in the air, and I'm putting my left hand lower than my right hand, which is in the air. So I think if you date below you, what happens is while you're leveling that person up, you are then stagnant because you can't develop yourself because you're leveling someone else up, and that's time. So I think in the, does love distract you from your goals? Yes and no.
I agree. I agree. I really do. So, this love word thing, yes, it does distract you from your
This
goals.
love word.
Yes, this love word, this thing here, because that's what it is, a thing. Well, love is like we were discussing off air, supposedly a series of emotions, right? So I feel yes and no because it would depend on what kind of love, right? So that would then go back to again what Jonathan was talking about, different brackets of love. But you would never know the different brackets of love if you don't take a risk. This is the catch 22 to this, because a person could be very good at presentation. I've realized a lot of people are very good at their presentation and how they deliver things. Mm-hmm. And that's a skill that you can be an idiot and still manipulate somebody stronger than you mentally. That is a dangerous skill. So when I say catch 22, it's like, okay, if I have a love that is good for me, how am I going to know if I've been dealing with love that's been so toxic for me? So how do I recognize it without being toxic? And then it's like, do you really then say this love cannot? Because you get so focused on it. You said it's like a drug, right? So anything is like a drug, but it's like how much of it do you take and how much of it do you not take, right? Because when you do drugs, there's limits to the amount of drugs you try to take at the moment, or you take excess amounts of that drug because of a reason. There's a reason. There's always a reason, right? So when we get addicted to things, we like the way it makes us feel 90% of the time, right? So even though we're saying we don't like these things at the moment, we love the way that thing makes us feel. So what is it about us that is toxic that we like the way that feels? So then we then say, this is better than my goals that I had for myself. Then you not only stagger yourself.
What?
You not only stagger
Why
yourself.
do you need love so much you're willing to stop your life?
Right.
Holy smokes.
When do you realize that you stopped your life?
Or do you even realize because you got the one thing you want, or what you think you want?
Yeah.
I want you guys to know in podcast land, when we ask these really surface level questions and we go really deep with you, this is because this is what life is. This is what the real world is.
Right.
If you're in the Matrix, you don't understand this. This sounds like wop wop little wop beep 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 bop, beep. It just sounds like a bunch of robot talk, but no, I feel like you're so right. It always, in truth, I feel like it always refers back to you being introspective on self. Where it's like, okay, does love distract you from your goals? We say yes, but then we have to go, why yes? Is it really because it's love's fault? Is it because it's your decision to consciously or subconsciously just flow with something so rapidly and wildly because it is addicting? And there is no sense of control where, I mean, I'm not saying you can control love, but what you can do is control the limitations and the reins. Now, when I say reins, not what it falls, but actually reins like a horse. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's really, it's deep. And I am, these questions are so...
Now, take this one for size, right? Love, right?
Mm-hmm.
Goals, drugs. There's counseling specifically designed for drugs. There's counseling specifically designed for goals and careers and aspirations, right? Mm-hmm. There's counseling designed for marriages and relationships, but not necessarily love. It's not specified, right? If you go to counseling, you end up going to individual counseling. Sometimes you go to group counseling. Those love issues come out.
But it's not, their focal point isn't the love. It isn't love. It is the relationship that is derived from that love.
So, how could you allow something so not respected, not acknowledged, to consume you and stop you from your goals?
I think...
Remember, goals are more driven. You can write out a plan for a goal, right? I could sit there and say...
But a goal isn't going to call you and kiss you and hold you and make love to you. Your goal isn't going to be next to you like a person is. So I think, again, it really derives back to you.
But that's still the physical. If I die, God forbid, you die today or tomorrow, it goes back to my same point that I keep trying to make to you.
We're souls.
We are simply souls. We only became genders when we came
to
Earth.
Flesh. We are of the flesh.
When this shit goes, we have a soul.
I keep forgetting that. I'm still new to that concept.
I'm just saying, like, so the love, we're not in love with the soul. We're in love with the physical being. You love the fact of having someone laying next to you. But do you love yourself? You love the fact of kissing someone. But do you kiss yourself? Do you say these affirmations or these positive things to yourself when you going through things or you did something wrong that may have been labeled as wrong? Are you as nice to yourself? But then you got this person who comes out of nowhere. And so what? You knew them umpteen years. And so what? They've been through all these things. What about what you've been through? You haven't even processed what you've been through. And you talking about you love this person. And then you stop all your life. And I'm telling you from experience, I made a man or a boy my life. And I got fucked. And I'm not talking about the one that feels good. So I'm telling you that now that I look back at it, I laugh, right? Because you only really miss these people when you're by yourself at night or when you're thinking about wanting something physical next to you or you want a message sent to you to say the same things you can say to yourself.
And not be ignored.
So love over goals? Yeah, but why? Because it ain't shit. If you not one with being, you won't feel real love because the real love is within you. You reflect off what you want. That's why when you treat yourself like shit,
you get shit.
You treat your shit like golden. You start feeling yourself. They say that cockiness and stuff is a part of ego, right? But is it really? Remember, we're systematically designed to be enslaved mentally. So, of course, they want to tell us, because duality, something has to be right and something has to be wrong.
And if they tell us what it is, it's...
So other people can talk to you like shit and you got to eat that because you need a check, right? But then when you talk to yourself like shit and you start losing your mind, walking around the world, doing things that you have no business doing, putting all these drugs, trying to self-harm and going through all these changes, why? Because it's other people's opinions and thoughts of you
that shift how you feel about you.
And the reality is, that's not how you feel about you.
You don't even know how you feel about you. You don't even know you, as you said before.
And this is all driven from goals and love.
All right, that's the episode. Arrivederci.
Hey guys, we're back. So we're back, Mr. Third Eye. Hi, Third Eye. So he has another question from this list of questions that we just been pulling out topics and, you know, going through running our podcast, because it's just so super funny how this list was just like composed and
orchestrated and so badly worded.
So, Third Eye.
So this one, I skipped it a couple times because I didn't know if I wanted to talk about it, but you know what? We're talking about it. Online dating, is it a threat or a blessing? And I feel like that's a double-edged sword because it's a twofer. It's both.
I agree. I've been there.
I've met some really cool people that subsequently know some people who I don't want them to know.
Jesus.
And you go, oh, hey, yeah, just come over. I'm going to go to my house. And you're at the person's house and someone you don't want them to know walks in. Oh, this is my cousin. You go, oh. I've got to go. What happened? Explosive diarrhea. Bye.
Oh my God.
Time to go. I got to skedaddle. I've been in an uncomfortable situation where I met up with this girl and maybe within the first couple hours, she was talking about kids and family with me. Uncomfortable. Oh yeah, you have really nice hair. And I was like, oh. She's not talking about like a general statement of having kids. She means having kids with me. No. Scary. Uncomfortable. See that? Those are mine. Okay. Those are just some of my ones that I can remember.
I had one with a female. I'll tell you one and one because that's the enjoyment about me, guys. Is you'll get a 2-for-1 coupon with me, guys. Because let me see. I'm still trying to figure out. Like at one point, I used to classify myself as bisexual, but then I'm thinking maybe I'm just pansexual. Maybe I'm just fucking greedy. But the problem is,
I'm just fucking greedy.
Yeah, but the problem is, whatever it is, we'll figure it out later. There was this girl. So I'm trying to remember what website was it. Well, like when we were younger, there used to be like a bunch of like these fucking lesbian apps. So you can just easily like join and stuff like that. I think it was Downy Link, to be precise. Yeah, shout out to Downy Link.
Downy Link, you got her some ass.
And actually, no, it didn't give me no ass. I didn't want to touch that girl. Please. Let me tell you the story though. It was horrible. She's from Tompkins Projects in Brooklyn. Yeah. So,
I have to beep that out. She's from beep, beep,
no,
beep, beep,
I didn't say her. I don't even fucking remember her name. Like,
don't say it. Don't say her name is Lakeisha Tomlinson, or
you just wild out because you probably calling the girl name. I told you I don't remember.
Listen, if your name's Lakeisha Tomlinson, I'm sorry, it was a made up name, but your made up name is funny for this particular moment. So shout out Lakeisha Tomlinson if you're real or not.
Yo, so Shorty's like, okay, she's writing me on down link, whatever. She's nice melanin. I like, a lot of melanin. So I'm like, cool. So
I was scared of black women for a long time.
No.
I still am.
Well, it'd be like that sometimes, but they alright. So I'm like, okay. She's like, oh, let's meet up type shit. Now, let me tell you, it's more convincing when it's a female. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, so, like, not for guys necessarily, but for females, like, we meet females in the street all the time. So it's like, and just start talking and making conversation, and then all of a sudden that's your new bestie. Like,
Okay.
so that's the thing about females. They're a little bit too friendly, too emotional, too talkative, and just be ready to just be out there and vulnerable and shit with these people that they don't even know. So I was very young at the time, not gonna lie. I was probably still like in the teens, it's still, but you know. So homegirl's like, yeah, come meet me, take the G train, you know, get off on them, Hoyton, whatever, something like that. I'm like, okay. Now, I was dating somebody in the past before that he was from East New York, so I was familiar semi with the whole, the train and shit like that. So it was like, okay, I'm not like scared because it's like I've been over there before, so the worst that could happen is it's just like,
you gotta stab somebody.
Right, or call somebody up and be like, yo, I'm over here and this is what it is, right? So homegirl comes and she's like, yeah, meet me at the train and whatever. She meets me at the train. I see her. First of all, pictures are so fucking deceiving. You know that as a photographer. Like, she wasn't ugly, but like her nose was serious though, dogs. Like, and then she was really dark, so it looked really shiny. Like I don't know. But anyway, we go. And she's walking me to the projects. And I'm like, I ain't scared of no projects, believe that. Because I come from one of the toughest areas in the Bronx. And I done been around, you know, and I'm respected everywhere I go. So it's rare that I got to feel like,
you're a little uncomfortable. You're like,
No, it's not even uncomfortable. I'm just like, it looks dirty here. Like,
crack needle, razor blade,
like,
gun, bottle. What is this?
Like, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm from the hood, but like my hood is a little bit... I ain't saying we ain't, you know, got some dirty ways.
But you guys like, recycle it.
Right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You guys are not animals.
Right,
I get it.
Right. Because over there at the time, I don't know what was going on. So, all right, homegirl takes me. We go upstairs now. And I go in Shorty's house. And it's like, brother lives in the living room. Like, it was just a fucked up situation. Like, so the brother looking at me. And then before you know it, let's just say... the brother now wanted to like me, arguing with the sister. It got really bad.
Oh, you didn't bring her here for me?
Like,
you mad selfish.
Like, it got really bad. And then, like, she was really weird to me. Like, we didn't do anything, but she was just, like, really weird. And I was just like, oh, my God, never again. Then, I've had several guys experiences, too. But it's, like, not, like, real online dating because it's, like, stupid shit like Facebook, Instagram. Because it's like, do you really call Instagram, Facebook online dating exactly? Because I know it's social media, but it's not utilized for that purpose. So then it's like, when you utilize it for that purpose, is it really online dating? And then let's say, for the sake of the argument, I know somebody that knows you, or we've came across paths before, but we never actually talked. So now this is the linkage.
I say yes, and I say yes only because that's like saying, I bought a Ferrari, and a Ferrari is a supercar. You're supposed to race for that. But if I go to the grocery store, Ferraris really are supposed to hold groceries. Instagram, you're really not supposed to date, but you could network some shit. So technically, yes, I would consider that online.
All right, see, I was trying to be slick and get around that. So there you go. That's my ego trying to get me out of shit. But fuck it, it is what it is. At least I tried. I don't feel any way about it. That's my conscious processing the feeling and not allowing it to consume me. I'm not gonna personalize it. But so okay, in that case, I've had several of those situations. So the one that was so funny was that I actually knew him. I met him in person before and I chilled with him, but we were never like on that level. So he hits me up one day. He's like, yo, come to my sister's house. Not even his house anymore because I don't know what the situation was. But now this is a grown ass man though, because he's kind of older than me at the time. He's like 30 at the time. He was in his 30s, so now he might still be 30, but like late 30s, possible 40, and has children. This is the ain't shit niggas that I attract sometimes. Excuse me again, bleep bleep. But this is what it is. Explicit content, because I got to give it to you raw. This is just free game. These people are just sick, like, and I don't get it. So he goes, I want to make you breakfast
at your sister's house.
Now, as a female, there's several thoughts running through my mind when he says this, right? And this is through, like, your social media telling me, like, yo, come over, whatever, let's link up. Because I've hung out with him, but, like, with other people, so it wasn't really,
never, like, one-on-one.
Right. So now this is a one-on-one like thing, right? He's even been to my house, believe it or not, like in the past, like but on some like friend like conglomerate
He
stuff.
definitely knows who he's talking about now.
I mean, no, he doesn't talk to me anymore.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Great. He doesn't. Like we haven't spoken in years. Who, if he listens to this, you're fucking sad. Like, anyway,
You're sad.
Well, you're gonna be real sad after I tell this story, though. Let me tell you. So, third eye, this man tells me to come to his sister's house. So, like I said, as a female, coming from a really decent mom, even though she had her shit with her, I was always told you don't go to no woman's kitchen.
Yeah.
Without permission, or you just don't go in a woman's kitchen. Now, if you allowed in a woman's kitchen, that's an honor. You don't just go in a woman's kitchen. Now, this man is going to his sister's kitchen. Okay, that's your sister's house, but you cooking for another female in your sister's house. Okay, so I go and he's like, yeah, so come and everything, and I'm laughing because I'm just like, okay. Breakfast.
I'm about to have to fight a bitch over some bacon and eggs.
No, because this is what these ain't bleep bleep, because I'm gonna start getting better with my wording. Do they wait till the sister, the mother, the baby mother, the wife, whoever you are, go to work, go to the doctors,
and then invite you over when they have an hour free time,
or maybe even more? Because if sis went to the family house and you just said I don't want to go today, and that is why it's my biggest fear. We're gonna talk about that later. Living with a guy, because
okay,
please, but. Back to this breakfast. So I get there, and he's still not done yet. Now I spoke to this guy over like an hour ago. Like what the hell? How long does it take you to make something at breakfast?
Yeah.
So, I get in there and he's all in the kitchen acting like he's chefing it up, and I'm just like, okay. Now, I don't know about anybody else. I like egg yolk, right? But there's the way you make sunny side up eggs, but you don't make scrambled eggs wet though. that like. Unless you put some melted cheese, I never knew like scrambled eggs to be wet. And then I never knew bacon to be like 3 shades of dark. I didn't know they came in shades.
You mean burnt?
Came out.
Came out burnt. Okay.
In Spanish, came out. Burnt. Like, so like, then, I mean, the only thing it was so depressing. Like, I'm just having flashbacks about it. I had soggy toast. This shit smelled like water. Did you put water in my butter? What the fuck?
Oh, Lord, I'm so sorry.
And then I got a cup of Minute Maid Tropical. That was the only good part about it.
The juice.
My juice.
Cleanse your palate of that nastiness.
I just like, yo, can you please don't ever do that? I didn't even go see him after that. But then, and then the sex was garbage. I'm gonna do it. The sex was garbage. Like,
oh gosh.
It was just so disappointing. Like, I went over here for this shit. I got watered eggs, watered toast, burnt bacon.
But at least it was good juice.
Good juice.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing as human beings. I think we reflect on all the negativity. If you look at the positive, at least you got something. There's certain people that don't even get to eat.
I would have preferred
hunger.
Give me dog food.
Give me Alpo. Give me some Alpo shaped in meatloaf. I'll take it.
With a little salt and pepper, nigga. See, I can't even help it. Because I can't help it.
Oh,
because
Lord.
if I could look him in his face right now,
you couldn't stop laughing.
Yo, so then he's like, "All right, let's go in the room. We on the fucking floor." Like, son, really? I came over here for this. So he's trying to give me fellatio, and it was just horrible.
I try to use the proper word. He was trying to give me coitus, and I was denying it because it was unpleasurable.
No, he was just licking it like it was fellatio. I don't know what the hell type things he's into in his spare time, but I was so displeased. Let's just say I ain't never talked to him again. Then, my next story was a foot fetish guy, but it was very weird because he wanted to put his piece in between my toes.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know anything about it though. I heard about it. I read about it once.
Listen, I'm with all the sucking and the feeling and all that weird stuff, and I'm even brushing up against it. But you're trying to like do my feet, like literally, like you're having an orgasm off my feet, like
I'm trying to ejaculate on your shins.
No, you're trying to ejaculate on the front of panel of my feet. Oh
God! Oh no! I mean, I know what it is. I've been into some weird stuff where I've had women ask me things and I just go, nah, I can't.
But this is somebody that you just meet or online. This is not even like somebody you've known.
No.
Like
okay,
that.
so then Okay, I'll be honest. I've met a girl online who I almost did something with, but she told me she wanted to do something to me, and it's called pegging. Do you know what pegging is?
I think I have an idea, but please enlighten me.
So pegging is when a woman puts on a strap on.
Oh yes, I knew it.
And enjoys a man's backside.
Oh.
And that's what she said she wants to do to me, and I think maybe we spoke for 2.5 weeks before we met up. When I say bar, I don't mean like a bar, but it was like a indie Starbucks. There was a point in my life where I thought I was like an indie hipster dude. I wore like flannel shirts, short shorts, and like dirty Converse.
Okay.
And I would go to coffee houses but drink tea because coffee makes me sick.
Okay.
Anyone who likes coffee, you have a problem.
Well, then I have a problem, guys, because what he didn't know is that I like coffee.
I know you like coffee.
Oh.
You need to drink tea.
I tried. I have so many varieties of tea. See, look, this is how we get here because he's just ancient. But I drink peppermint. I drink green tea. Okay. I do. But I prefer coffee. I told you, when I go work out.
Do you drink the fancy coffee or the normal coffee? Because I'm talking like the French vanilla, like the homemade. Do you have like a grounder?
No. I'm an old school. I've been drinking coffee since I was like 4. Because my grandpa, that's a cultural thing. But it was more milk.
Can I say something racist? Is it Cafe Bustelo?
No, honey. Cafe Bustelo is like popping Percocets, honey.
Oh.
I will not. I used to drink when I was younger because we didn't know no better. Because that's like tradition. But then you wonder why your nerves is always so... You out here looking like you got doing a Harlem Shake and you standing still. Then that's an issue. So, I'm a Maxwell House, like, Folgers type of, soft brew. But it's a nice, punch. And then I don't even drink the whole cup anymore. So, it's like, and it's very small. So, I don't, And then I drink it, and then I just go run it out anyway. So...
Whenever I drink coffee, it makes me just take naps. And I don't know if that's a required, a designated effect for that. Literally, I'll drink and I'll go, give me a couple hours. Bye. It's like a reset for my body.
Okay, I've never heard
caffeine products to me don't do well. I can't do caffeine. It's no bueno.
Listen, when I used to go to Starbucks when I was in college, I had this strawberry cream drink that I love so damn much. Oh, it was so good. It was just so good. But yeah, let's go on because we over here talking about online dating because you said hippie and then we went
all right, so listen, guys, that's the app. You'll see us again. You'll hear from us again.
Talking out nonsense over and over and over again.
What's up, boys and girls, cats and squirrels? Third Eye Shooter here with Kay again for another bomb installation of her podcast.
I need to get a swear jar, guys, and I need that every time. I have to get better at this because I'm trying to be professional, but it's not working out.
Okay, so if we get a swear jar, how much are you gonna put in there? Are we going a dime? Are we going a quarter? Are we going $1? Or are we really gonna punish you and every time you curse you have to put $10 in there?
I don't know yet. We're gonna have to figure this out because politically speaking, some of my words are not nice. So, I mean, it's good for content, and I've heard worse, but, I don't know. It's something I want to work on, I think, because I'm not ignorant, and I feel like people who curse a lot often get depicted as ignorant, but then that means I would have to care about your feelings, and I don't! Sorry, guys, I'm joking. I'm totally joking. So, Third Eye, what's today's question again?
Yeah, you really have me. My phone went off. I was like, oh wait, this is really introspective. This is really good. Wow, I was like, this is new. Swear drawer? We didn't even talk about this off air. I was like, wow, this is new. And then she tricked us all. She literally tricked us all, ladies and gentlemen. Because we don't care.
Oh, man.
And once you realize that you shouldn't care, the only thing you need to care about is yourself, happiness will ensue. And truth will reign free. So the question from this wonderful, misconstrued, grammatically incorrect list of 56 things of topics of contention to talk about. It's when and where do you feel most like your real self and why? For myself, I can easily say water. Anytime I'm in water, I don't know why. I feel like I know I lived other lives because I have these really vivid dreams, but I know some point in my life I know I was a weird culmination of like a shark, wolf, a bear, and a blue-footed bobby. Now, a blue-footed bobby is a bird. Now, I don't know how aquatic it is, but I know I was all those things, so I know I was a water animal. So anytime I'm in water, there's something about it. It's the serenity and the peace, and it's just the idea that water, you're free, or and then also there's the unknowing. Like, I don't know what's underneath me depending on where you're. Like, if I'm in a swimming pool, I know an alligator's not gonna come out of nowhere and destroy my ankles, but there's that sense of unknowing sometimes. And I think water is just very calming. So anytime I'm in water, yeah, I'm just at peace. I'm happy. I'm in my Shangri-La.
My place would have to be anywhere in nature. So then that could be a series of water. It could be a series of rocks. It could be a series of grass. It could be a series of basically anything here.
Nature, anything that's nature based. Okay, that was a very good answer. That was a broad stroke, but so good because I was like, I like water, one thing, and then now you say nature. I'm like, Tom, I do like trees and stuff.
So like, think about.
I'm not trying to swim with kelp all the time.
You silly, but like when you become one with yourself, or you become the being and get comfortable with just being, mm-hmm. You are all those things in nature if you think about it.
Because we are all interconnected.
Energies align, certain things are signs to you, certain things are other people, or other things is how people would like to consider it depending on what faith or thoughts or theology they have. But yeah, like, and then I'm gonna be honest, I love marijuana. And that is the greatest thing that came from earth, okay? And this is why people do not want us to have it. But it's a beautiful thing that was put here for you and me. So at the end of the day, I love everything that is trees, water, wood, rocks. You got to think about it. Like, everything is so beautiful. Animals, you got to think about it. And they bring you so much peace because they're just so free. Like, an animal doesn't wake up and say,
I have to pay rent.
Oh, I got to brush my teeth and I got to take a shit. Like, they just do it.
They're creatures of habit.
Animals can be so timid, yet they'll come to you. Why? Because they're so free-spirited that even if they know you may potentially kill them and they might run or attempt to run or sit there, but they're so free.
Dare I dream to be as free as an animal?
I tell you.
Dare I dream?
You know what's so funny? They say that the closest animal we are, I've heard several of them. I've heard raccoon. I've heard we're close to a damn rat. I heard we're close to chimpanzees.
Primates, pigs.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But if you think about it, you are. See, you gotta be real philosophical and have a real open mind to things. See, because you ever wonder why your karma comes back? Sometimes it's you killing and eating these animals that we're not supposed to be eating. Mm-hmm. That are free and sacred. You ever realize animals were considered sacred? Noah's Ark. We can go back into time, and many artists and theologians had a lot of theories, but 90% of the time, a lot of their artwork consisted of animals. Mm-hmm. Animals were symbolic of abundance and being rich.
And we do anthropomorphize a lot of things throughout, history, like constellations, like the Taurus, the astronomy. You're right. We do anthropomorphize a lot of things.
Now, when you have dreams, right? A lot of the times they say a lot of things are more symbolic than actual logic, mm-hmm. And because your mind and your thought come into play, you try to logically analyze the dream. Mm-hmm. When it's not literal. So sometimes we see animals in our dreams or in our day physical dimension, right? Because this is allegedly 3D, they say, and 5D is the conscience of being with your soul and all that nonsense, right? And all that stuff that's in that dimension. Now, when you here on Earth and you see the animals running so freely, you ever realize that half of the time those animals are supposed to be symbolic of things that you need to know about yourself. These animals don't just come around you. Like, you ever realize, like, you'll come out of somewhere and you'll see a damn squirrel. How did you, like, where did this squirrel come from?
Yeah.
There's no park, there's no nothing, and then all of a sudden a squirrel pops out.
You know what's crazy? Sorry to cut you off. I was at my tattoo artist. I was at his house a couple of weeks ago. And I came out the room he let me use. And all the windows were closed, but there was a ladybug on the windowsill. Mm-hmm. It was alive, and I was like, how did it get in here? Out. I put it right on my palm, and it went right off, and it went free, and I was like... And, like, you know, I tried to logically, I was like... I kind of forgot about it, but you bringing up, like, how do animals just appear there? And I was like... I was like, what does it mean? And I kind of just stopped, because I was like, you know what, sometimes I think... in the most simplest of forms, you have to take things at face value.
Like, I'm going to give you a good example. Last time we were hanging out, you were getting annoyed, right? By this one specific animal that kept annoying you, right? And what animal? Bee? Right, okay. So bees are basically symbolic of fertility and, like, positive things coming. So that bee...
was trying to give me a heads up
of things or what is being manifested for you, believe it or not. So for me, nature, I become one with nature, and I feel like I can see more of the things that are coming for me, or I should appreciate, or where I'm at, because these are all signs. And a lot of Indian people, you know, not to categorize them, but they do believe in Hinduism and things like that, and the whole karmic coming back as an animal, because an animal is something so it's so sacred though, not anything else but animals. Why would they say animals?
They do have a temple that they believe mice are their ancestors. I do know about that. You're right.
So yeah.
Okay. And that talk about short and sweet. Thank you very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen.
Goodbye, guys. Like.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Third Eye Shooter, and I'm here next to... Yay! Your level of excitement is always so different from mine. Like, I never really know how you're gonna go in. I know it's gonna be like just bam in your face. I'm just like, hey, what's up, guys? It's me,
hanging 10 and chilling. I think it's because I'm really animated. Like, I just always gotta be like, It's like, you know.
You remind me of that rap song. I don't know the lyrics, but that song. That song does something to the inside of me. Like, if I was a woman, I know I would probably twerk if I could. But as a man, I just kind of like nod my head like, that's salty.
Yeah, I'm crying.
Do your thing. Nah, so, again, guys, we're on this list. We're going to do these questions because some of them are just really good and some of them are spelled really badly. And I'm going to keep gaslighting that. Whoever created this, learn to spell.
We gotta call
figure out your ideas.
We gotta call somebody. What if we were stupid and we read this exactly the way it was? We probably lose half of our viewers.
Yeah, because they'd be like, "What are they trying to say?" That's not a coherent thought. There's sentences that have periods, 3 words in. But can you? Semicolon. Shouldn't. What? Can't what? Watermelon.
First of all, they don't even know what a semicolon is.
Don't assume that. Our viewers are they're upwardly mobile, intellectual beings. They know what semicolons, hard pauses, short pauses, dots, dashes.
You mean my mans in them? That be outside in the corner.
You mean my mans in them? No, my mans in them knows. He knows.
He don't know that.
Yo, my mans in them.
If it ain't a semicolon by the dollars, he don't know that. And ain't no semicolon by no dollars.
Cash rules everything around me.
Semicolon.
The money. dollar bill, y'all. All right. Okay. Sorry. All right. We digress. So the question that I passed by a couple times that I don't know how we would react, but I think it's time. It's number 6. Discuss your first impression of each other and whether it was accurate or not. You please take the lead on this one.
Hold on, I think I'm sick.
You need some water?
No.
You need a Ricola?
No.
Ricola.
Oh, you trying to be funny. I don't want to diss you. That's why.
Please, please. I have no feelings to have felt, so you cannot disrespect what cannot feel.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You're becoming one with the soul.
I am one, my young Padawan.
Oh, okay, girl. Okay, no. So, Third Eye and I known each other for like 5 years, going on 5 years. It's gonna be 5 years, October, to be precise, 1st, which is very funny because I'm pretty sure he doesn't even remember exactly the date.
I do not.
Yes, October 1st. We
specific.
met October 1st, 2015 at a non-profit organization
Don't even mention it.
that will not be disclosed.
Yeah. We worked at a place. That's all you need to know. We work. We do stuff. Cool.
So, you see how he's mocking me? That's exactly what he probably thought of me, but we're not gonna go there yet. When I met this fool, okay, because he was a fool, he had this real fixation, okay. Third Eye has a mustache that he used to curl up at the end. He still does, but he was he's not as bad as he used to be. I give him that, because before it was severe. He had his brush, he had his oil, he had his joint, right. Like he legit had a kit. So it was like we had to wear a shirt, khaki pants. He was disrespectful. He didn't oblige by anybody's rules. Third Eye is a rebellious person. Guys, if you don't know that about him, you know that now.
I wore jeans and sweatpants. Fire me, I dare you. My
favorite co-host here loved to just go against the grain. So, I mean, it was really funny because, like, what we didn't know is that he worked at 2 of the actual facilities and he was doing this nonsense. So I was just like,
gotta get that bag when you can. Gotta get that bag when you can.
I hear you, but they were so like, first of all, they hated this kid. And I ain't gonna hold you. I kind of did at first too. Like, he was really Mr. I'm nonchalant, you gotta kiss my ass theory. Like, I'm like, who the hell is this kid? Like, but then I realized he's very intellectually stimulating. So then we became acquaintances off of the strength that I can articulate past A. And that was pretty much it. I mean, he was very nice after that. I mean, he was still wishy-washy. I had to watch him. I felt like he was jealous of me at some point. And then I realized that he was just a conniving little asshole. So he just hated everybody. But yeah, here we go. 5 years later, we're over here making podcasts and shit together. Woo. That was my first impression of you.
Great, that's the episode, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. I never said I was going to answer the question. I just said that we were going to talk about it. So
ooh,
if we're going to be honest, so
fucking jerk.
I don't remember the date we met.
It was October 1st.
I do remember
because I started working for TF at that building because I was originally supposed to work for GS. And the problem was they weren't having the funds over there. And then GS spoke to TF and they knew I had the experience. So then they took me over there to come help you because you were over there by yourself. And then we got B that came later on. And then it was all 3 of us.
Yeah. What's so funny is they have no clue that I understood everything you just said using initials. Fantastic. So, to be honest with you, my first couple of thoughts and impressions of you were...
She get on tail.
No, I felt like... Not knowing you, I felt like you were a very intelligent woman, but I felt like you had something to prove to someone, and no one needed any proving.
Oh.
So I don't think it was a matter of you being strong or ghetto. I'm being very honest. You were always an intelligent, intelligent woman. I just felt like... We've spoken before off the air where it's like, we don't fit the molds. Like, I'm not the typical man from the Bronx. You're not the typical woman from the Bronx. So I feel like sometimes, like, I have family that are gang related and I hang out with them, but there's a disconnect because I've never been in their world. Just like there are things I can sit down talking about. What are you talking about? And so there's worlds that I've never been in. So the way I interpret things, where I saw it as you were a very intelligent woman, but I felt like you were trying to prove something to someone. It was like, you didn't have to.
Oh, that's
That's
funny.
that's how I interpreted you. That was like my first impression.
So your arrogance was what? You not trying to prove something to someone?
So again, this is gonna maybe veer off. I feel like when you met me 5 years ago, my arrogance was because I did not know who I was. So 5 years ago,
Touche.
5 years ago was 2015, and that was when I was like, I think I just like broke my hand, and I was still small, but I started gaining back the weight. So this is gonna sound weird. I low key think I have body dysmorphia because I feel like I'm always gonna be a fat dude. So like people be like, dude, you're not that fat, and I always like, no, dude.
I have the same theory, but then I look at my body, I'm like, hey girl, that ass fat.
So no, I just no, I am. Yeah, I am.
Nah, you gotta look at yourself like, hey girl, that ass is fat.
So yeah, I feel like the arrogance the arrogance and the condescension and me being, whippersnapper. I used my intelligence as a defense mechanism because before I didn't understand how to cope with feelings. So I would blame other people. Like I said, I'm being honest.
FUCK feelings.
Yeah, remember there.
No. I'm just
like 5 years that I'm older. I look at it now and I go, yeah, there were things I didn't address or I didn't know how to address or I wasn't ready to address. So I use my intelligence for evil.
Me too.
And now that I'm older, I go, wow.
That was a bad move.
I don't think. See, this is gonna sound weird. I don't look at things I've done in the past as bad moves. I think you need to experience something in life to realize these are precursors for things I don't want, like red flags, like we said discussed before.
Oh,
I have to experience.
He wanna cut my shit.
Yeah, I have to. You got to experience things to realize. Yeah, I never wanted that again. I never wanted this again. And then the choice is codependent, not codependent, but directly related to your decision.
Right.
Like we said, there are people in our past who we're ridding ourselves of.
Right.
And there could or could not be a chance they try to reconnect. Now the choice is, are we gonna allow their past behaviors to be accepted? Because I think that's what it is. If I cheat on somebody and they take me back, in my brain I go, oh, my behavior is accepted. Am I wrong?
No, you're not, but let me give you another outlook of this, right? Because I've also been cheated on and stuff. So like how I'm, doing my little researching and little soul searching.
But you know how to read?
Yeah.
I thought that's why you had me reading the questions.
Okay. No, I do. So I actually do read quite frequently and daily, and I listen to a lot of audio things, and I read captions too. Jerk. And you have to think about it like this. So, you ever realize that the hate or disappointment or sadness or lack thereof comes from the whole expectation of people, right? So we put people in this box when we first meet them without even knowing them, like both you and I did, regardless of not knowing each other's background. Some people are good at it because they are really in tune and empathetic to people, so they can pick up, oh, this person is really sad inside, or this person's been through a lot, or you can kind of pinpoint those basic things, right? But it's like, why hate someone, or why, how do you say, feel something about someone that if you never allowed it to bother you at the beginning, it would never make you feel a way about yourself. So I'm going to give you the example, because maybe if I give the example, it'll be more clarified. So you go and say you dislike somebody in your family, right? And it develops eventually to maybe hate or whatever deep emotion you want to feel. Now you go back, and this is your family or a person you want to be around. So when you go back to them, now you have to cross paths with them again, maybe in another aspect of life or whatever. And you still holding on to these things. Now you got to front to pretend that you forgave this person sometimes, and in all actuality, if you never felt this emotion about that person or allow them to bring you to that emotion, because the emotions that you're feeling about that person is your projection of yourself. So the emotion, if I hate somebody, is because I hate that something that they're doing about myself. So like, you may not want to identify sometimes the microaggressions that you have or macroaggressions, but you have to, because they're things about yourselves. Like, a person who is racist doesn't just become racist overnight.
It's a trained behavior, it's a learned behavior.
Right. And it's not necessarily always focused on somebody else, but it is somebody else. But the real somebody else is you. But it's projected onto that somebody else because they see it, you don't see it, but they come to you showing you what you're showing them. So I don't like myself. I think I'm fat. My body doesn't look good. Guess what? They'll tell you whatever you want to hear to your face, but in all actuality, are they going to respect your body? No. Are they going to... Exactly. Are they going to appreciate it the way that they're supposed to? No. Because you don't.
Okay.
So, first impressions. They suck sometimes, and sometimes you got to give people a second chance for a second impression. Because then you get to understand more. You got to peel back the layers before you actually get to really truly know if you really should fuck with somebody or not.
I'm really like a papaya. That's what you're telling me? I'm like a papaya. Like, on the outside, I'm really hard and like a rind.
I feel like I'm like an onion.
But once you get to know me, I'm really amazing and sweet.
I feel like I could be like an onion.
See, but this is the thing about onion. I got to like peel you, dice you up, then saute you with like some pork chops or like steaks, or put you in some ground beef with a cracked egg and some onions and what is it, breadcrumbs. Like make a good old fashioned like ghetto hamburger. I'm kind of hungry now.
Yeah, you and this damn get off. Okay.
This is a great episode. Thank you very much, guys.
Him and this damn hamburger meat.